Okay, hopefully you guys are going to like this video. Um, we get into these situations where we need to make like a really organic shape. And I didn't have any problem doing the leaves on this model of mine, but the orchid flower, that organic shape, sometimes, I don't know, I just don't want to mess with it. So I've used this workaround a few times, and it saves me a ton of time. And some people are not going to like this. Some people are going to be fine with it. But I just think this is a cool way to save time. It's not that, most CAD designers can fuss with and create a flower. That's not the point. The point is that most of us are trying to make money. So this is the workaround I found. So I knew I needed to have a flower. So I went on Turbo Squid and I purchased a flower model. Okay. Now, before I purchased it, I noticed how this was laid out. And you're going to notice that everywhere on this model, you've got four intersections here. And that's important because to do this method, you do not ever want 3 or 5. This is what you want to look for. You want to look for 4 intersections on each part. Okay, so then just for 19 bucks, I bought this model. Now, when you bring this in to your system, it doesn't bring it in like a jewelry form. It just brings it in whatever form it is that you bought it. So you're going to buy that, and then you're going to import it into your system. Okay, so now I've got this orchid flower that's already shaped, right? And it's got the 4 intersections on it. Now, when I click on this, Matrix sees it as a mesh. Well, if you're like me, like I don't like working with meshes. I don't understand them. And frankly, I don't want to take the time to understand how to work with a mesh. I would rather work with something that is in matrix format. So what I'm going to do is just start with one of these, and you'll notice that when these pieces come in to your matrix system, they do sometimes come in groupings. So you get rid of all of them except the one that you want to work with, okay? You take that and you go over to, let's move this over. You go over to your T-splines menu, turn on the HUD, and hit this button, Convert to T-splines. Okay, so now this piece is converted to a T-spline. If you were to then select this and convert it T-splines to Rhino, it will not become a Rhino. It still becomes a mesh. See up there, it says, oh no, I'm still a mesh. So it remembered that it was a mesh and it converted back to a mesh. So what you want to do is you take that, you go Convert to T-splines, go up to your curve menu, go to Duplicate Edges, or Duplicate Edge. Do not use Duplicate Border, it doesn't work. Duplicate Edge, okay? You're going to select all those edges, hit Enter, okay? Now I've got all those edges duplicated. Now you can simply delete that mesh, okay? Now what you've got here, you may have duplicate edges because of the way it came through. So I always go through and hit type in select, whoops, what am I looking at here? No, it didn't duplicate the edges. But if it had, what you would want to do is go in here and type in select duplicates, and it said nothing found. Okay, so this is where it gets cool. So now you've got this like framework, right? And it's all got 4 points. So now it's a perfect setup for T-spline skin. So you go up to T-splines and you find the one that looks like a pair of pants. It's right here. And you run that, and it might take a while depending on how complex the model is. Now you have a true T-splines surface. Now you can take this surface, and I'll usually just get rid of all these. Now you can take this surface and easily manipulate it, but the beauty is that then you can actually take that T-spline surface and convert it to a Rhino surface or a poly surface. Now you're using 2 methods that you're familiar with instead of trying to work with the mesh. So I found that's a really good shortcut for when I need an organic shape. Plus, you're going to be changing that shape. That's why you need to convert it into something else. You want to change it to be workable for jewelry. So it's not like you're just like importing it and copying it and slapping it out and casting it. There's like literally almost no thickness to this piece. So the entire thing has to go through, you have to go through and just thicken it up. And some people are like, well, that'll take a long time to go through all that. It doesn't once you get going on it. For me, it was a lot easier than trying to model it. It just gives you a starting point, and it's so much easier. So that's my little workaround. So you bought a model from Turbo Squid that had the 4 intersections for $20, right? Imported it into my system, changed it to a T-spline, duplicated the edges, got rid of that object that I just purchased, run T-spline skin, and then you can play with it as a T-spline, and then at some point, if you want to, you convert it to vinyl surface. All right, that's my workaround.